Coming up on SBS-TV News.
A mass shooting in Elkhart leaves 3 dead. We'll bring you the latest details.
What's old is new again. We'll tell you what subject the school board has voted to bring back to South Bend schools.
And art is playing a role in uniting 2 schools as they become one. You'll want to stay tuned for the rest of the story.
All this and much, much more on SBS-TV News.
From the SBS-TV studios at Riley High School, this is SBS-TV News, South Bend.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Alex Love from Riley High School.
And I'm Treylen Criglear from John Adams High School.
A mass shooting at an Elkhart grocery store claimed the lives of 3 people on Monday night. For more details on this late-breaking story, we head over to the newsroom.
At approximately 5:45 Monday night, 54-year-old Juan Sanchez walked into the Martin's supermarket on Jackson Street in Elkhart and opened fire. He killed 19-year-old Anna Sue Roca, a Martin's cashier, and 49-year-old Ben Jeffrey, a shopper. Witnesses jumped into action, calling the police immediately. By the time Sanchez made it to the parking lot, police were there to confront him. A gun battle broke out, injuring 2 police officers before Sanchez was shot and killed. Corporal Paul Vandenberg and Patrolman Ethan Pasternak were taken to the Memorial Hospital in South Bend. Vandenberg was later released. Pasternak remains hospitalized in fair condition in the intensive care unit. A motive for the shooting is unknown at this time and will remain under investigation. We will keep you updated as we learn more. In the newsroom, I'm Kiara Shelley. Now back to the studio.
Immigration enforcement operations rolled out this past weekend across multiple cities with more than 2,500 arrests. President Trump is calling his initiative an era of mass deportation targeting migrants with criminal backgrounds. Locally, Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita has filed a lawsuit against St. Joseph County Sheriff Bill Redmond and his police department. The AG says the lawsuit is an effort to end sanctuary for illegal immigrants across the state. The suit accuses Redmond and his police force of refusing to cooperate with federal immigration authorities. A written response by Redmond says Rokita's claim that county police have not cooperated are false. For our full immigration coverage, be sure to catch Victoria Bravo's report in Spanish on sbstvradio.org.
A lawsuit was filed in Marion County on Tuesday, suggesting Bishop Luers High School in Fort Wayne failed to act when several of its students were sexually exploited. The suit alleges the incidents took place in 2022 and 2023 when several male students combed through porn sites to find videos and pictures that resembled female classmates. They matched skin color, hairstyles, and other features of the actresses, then substituted the faces of female classmates. The boys shared or sold the images and videos. The lawsuit claims high school officials knew about the boys' scheme and failed to report it to authorities or any of the girls' parents. Under Indiana law, sexual abuse is defined as an actual or threatened physical intrusion of a sexual nature. It does not matter if the participants were forced or willing participants if the data is used for later coercion. If you or anyone you know is facing exploitation over sexual text or videos, call the National Sexploitation Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE. Cursive
is back. The writing style was eliminated from South Bend classrooms in 2010, but the school board has voted to bring it back. Indiana, along with 39 other states, adopted a Common Core curriculum 15 years ago that no longer taught cursive handwriting. There were a few reasons it was phased out, but the biggest was because it was believed it wasn't necessary in an age when laptops had replaced paper. But the South Bend School Board unanimously voted to bring it back, citing such facts as it helps students with brain development, motor skills, and the ability to develop a personal signature. Cursive will be taught this spring in 3rd grade classes across the district. However, that could change next year when the National Education Association South Bend Teacher Union will create a writing plan for the 25-26 school year.
Tomorrow marks the start of Black History Month, but our community has already begun celebrating.
Jesse Brownlee joins us in the studio to tell us more about a recent event recognizing the African American community.
That's right. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy was recently celebrated in South Bend as the community came together for a day filled with meaningful events, reflections, and connections.
We'll be able to join the hands and sing the words of that old Negro spiritual. Free at last, thank God Almighty. We are free at last.
The day kicked off with 900 attendees at a breakfast honoring community leaders and Dr. King's legacy. Riley High School Principal Sean Henderson was one of 6 individuals recognized with the prestigious Drum Major Award. The event also featured a community blood drive, local organizations, workshops, and stage performances. All of this highlighted the great strides made over the 57 years since King's death. Meanwhile, the Dream Center, a long-standing pillar of the community, is evolving to bring Dr. King's vision to life in new and impactful ways.
We want to continue to celebrate and honor the legacy of Dr. King. That's what the Dream Center is about. We want to demonstrate that in so many ways the dream has been realized.
Set to reopen this spring after major renovations, the Dream Center will provide resources to help individuals of all ages pursue their aspirations.
We carry our world on our shoulders, an atlas.
Another powerful expression of Dr. King's vision can be found in the words shared at the Poetry Den.
I wanted the Poetry Den to be a part of the MLK celebration because of what he stood for, and then people can share feelings and emotions, and this is a safe way to do that.
As the day of celebration came to a close, it served as a reminder of how far we've come.
It takes you back to just the beginning of what the Civil Rights Movement was about, a gentleman that gave his life for civil rights and the civil rights of everyone.
And there are more events on the way as we head into Black History Month. There will be a kickoff celebration on February 1st at the Century Center, an African American landmark tour on February 3rd, and an Art and Soul showcase at the Museum of Art on February 7th. For a complete list of events, go to visitsouthbend.com. I'm Jesse Brownlee. Now back to the anchor desk.
Thanks, Jesse. Break Out the Beakers, Marshall Traditional School's annual science night was held last Friday. The event gave students an opportunity to engage in hands-on science experiments and explore STEM fields. Interactive booths were set up by volunteers from local organizations and colleges, including the South Bend Police Department, Rum Village Nature Center, and the Notre Dame Rocketry team.
We brought our rocket from last year. It's painted gold with blue lettering on the front, and we launched it down in Alabama, and that one actually won us first place. So we're the reigning national champions for collegiate rocketry right now.
The Science Night is sponsored by Marshall School's parent-teacher organization.
South Bend Schools just received over $100,000 in grant and community funding to develop and expand the district's robotics program across all grade levels. Eli Bueno Pedraza brings us a close look on how John Adams is using its portion of the funding.
So far, the John Adams High School robotics team has only received $6,000 of that money, which is really great news for a team that only started 3 years ago. Last year was their first year competing.
Last year's tournament was complicated to say the least, but it was very enjoyable to see many other teams.
6 years ago, we would probably. The money has been beneficial for the team. It has helped pay for the entry fees for the tournament, and they can put in orders for additional parts they may need.
Yeah, that's been very helpful for us, very, very helpful for us.
It's an amazing club that can give students that hands-on experience, and they're willing to teach you anything you might want to learn.
I think it's one of our great clubs for encouraging students to problem solve on this individual and collaborative level.
There's something for everyone and anyone who's interested in it. There's many positions you can partake in, such as engineering, coding, media, and even scouting. They welcome new members, and you don't need any prior experience to join.
Oh, this club is great for students. Camaraderie, it's like a family.
For SBS-TV News, I'm Eli Bueno Pedraza.
Coming up after the break, we take a look at some new art that is brightening the hallways at Riley High School.
Plus, we'll see what's in store for weather over the weekend.
Welcome back. After the closure of Clay High School last year, the arts magnet moved over to Riley High School.
I spoke with some of the staff and students about a colorful project designed to unify the school. Art does more than create beauty. It also brings people together. Principal Henderson asked Mrs. Maceris, a new art teacher who transferred from Clay, if she could update the mural on the first floor for the school's new art wing.
And everybody was really curious once we painted it white to what we were going with it.
Mrs. Saris worked with the graphic arts teacher, Mr. Murray, to come up with a bright and creative design idea to help represent the school's colors and Riley's 3 magnet programs.
Well, our primary goal with this mural was to emphasize the belonging of every part of the school. So we've got computer science stuff there, we've got graphic design stuff there, we've got pottery, we've got photography, we've got like a little bit of everything.
The idea started with the paper sketch, which they then digitized and scaled to fit this wall. The process wasn't easy, but they were able to complete the mural with the help of Mr. Murray's CTE graphic design students.
Mostly I blocked in color with a couple of other students, like big areas, and then eventually went into more smaller details.
My experience in graphic design helped to contribute to the entire layout, and I don't think I would have known the stuff I needed to know unless I had that.
The students worked on the mural for a few short months to create a new long-lasting legacy for the newly combined school. For SBS-TV News, I'm Treylen Criglear.
The end of January has a great event for stargazers. Look up after dark any night this week and you'll be able to catch a glimpse of several planets shining brightly. 6 planets, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Uranus, and Neptune, will form a bright straight line. Some of the planets should be fairly easy to spot without any special equipment, but those wishing to see Uranus and Neptune will need a telescope. The event, known as a planet parade, isn't unique in itself, but seeing so many at once is what makes it unusual.
Well, the snow seems to be gone for now, and the weekend is looking clear.
That's right. Raiden Robinson from Adams High School is in our weather center to bring us the 3-day forecast.
Thanks, guys. It's not quite time to break out the shorts and flip-flops, but we do have a warm winter weekend in store for you. Today is going to be mostly cloudy with on and off rain, but the good news is that the thermometer is going to stay up there in the 40s, with a high of 42 degrees after our sub-zero temperatures that is going to feel like a heat wave. This evening, clouds will stick around, but the rain will end. The low will be around 24 degrees. Then, for the weekend, there will be some sun in the morning before the clouds push their way back in. The high will be a little cooler, only reaching 36 degrees, but that's still 4 degrees above average. Saturday night will be cloudy with a low of 31 degrees. And then check out Sunday. It will be overcast for Groundhog's Day, which means the critter most likely won't be seeing his shadow. But we will be seeing a high of 48 and a low of 26. For the weather, I'm Raiden Robinson. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Raiden. South Bend basketball has been doing well a little past halfway through the season.
Isaiah Packer brings us the latest in Sports Zone.
You're entering the SBS-TV Sports Zone.
It may be cold out, but our winter sports teams are bringing the heat. The Adams Eagles boys wrestling team hosted their final home match of the season on Thursday night as they took on their crosstown rival South Bend Riley. The Riley Wildcats ended up winning with a final score of 63-16. Adams collected 3 victories throughout the match. Kane Miller won at 132 pounds by disqualification. At 138 pounds, Preston Rupert won his match by major decision with a final score of 13-3. Delton Swisks won at 157, winning by fall early in the first period. On February 1st, the sectional tournament will begin for wrestling. Next up in basketball, we check in on the Riley Wildcat boys to see how their season is going.
Season's going good. We're currently 10-3. We faced some good competition and really tested our guys.
I feel like the strengths with us just staying together, staying positive, even in tough times.
The group of seniors I have right now is the first group that I've had with me for 4 years. So we've spent a lot of time together. They have a lot of experience, and so that's always nice to throw guys out there that you know what's going on and have been there before.
My team, these are my guys. Like, yeah, I couldn't ask for no other team.
Yeah, I think as we approach sectionals, in the near future, we want to be, physically ready, mentally ready, and healthy.
Here are the records in upcoming games for South Bend School's boys basketball this weekend. The Adams Eagles are 8-6 after last week's loss to Elkhart. They will take on Penn High School at John Adams this Friday at 7:30. Riley boys basketball is 12-3 after last week's win against Mishawaka Marion. They will travel to New Prairie on Friday to take on the Cougars at 7:30. and on Saturday will host ranked Northridge at 7:30. The Washington Panthers are currently 11-2 after last week's win over Jimtown. The Panthers will host Mishawaka at 7:30 this Friday. In swimming news, on February 1st, the NIC Championship meet for swimming will take place at the Elkhart Aquatic Center. Notre Dame's fifth-year senior Xavier Watts is declared for the 2025 NFL Draft. Watts was awarded the 2023 Bronco Nagurski Trophy, which is an award given to the best defensive player in the entire NCAA. After this year's national championship run, Watts is ranked the fourth best safety in the draft by ESPN. And finally, the Empire State Building recently paid homage to the National Football League Conference winners. It was lit up green and white in honor of the Philadelphia Eagles' win over the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship game. Then the landmark switched and lit up red to honor the Kansas City Chiefs' victory over the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. The Eagles and Chiefs will face off in the Super Bowl in New Orleans on February 9th. From Sports Zone, I'm Isaiah Packer.
Before we go, the chilly temperatures were fitting as the 21st Annual Hunter Ice Festival was held in downtown Niles, Michigan. The free event featured dozens of stunning ice sculptures displayed throughout the area. Highlights included live ice carving demonstrations, the 15th annual Frigid 5K run, and the Science Ice Fights competition at the Riverfront Amphitheater.
Enjoy families coming out here and enjoying what we do. So that's our benefit by that, seeing their faces and seeing photos being taken of what you created.
Families also enjoyed ice cream, interactive ice games, and a children's sledding run.
That about wraps it up for SBS TV News. Be sure to check us out online at sbstvradio.org. I'm Alex Love.
And I'm Treylen Criglear. Have a great weekend, everyone.